Creative garden design ideas, smart landscaping tips for small spaces and homes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this journey into the art and science of garden design and landscape architecture. Today, we will explore not just how to create beautiful outdoor spaces, but also how to design them with intention. Spaces that reflect personality, lifestyle, and the evolving trends of our time. Imagine this presentation not only as information, but as inspiration. Words designed to spark vision, delivered in a smooth, flowing tone, almost as if you are hearing the rhythm of a guided tour through gardens of the past, present, and future. Every great design, whether it is a house, a garden, or an entire landscape, starts with purpose. Ask yourself, what do you want your outdoor environment to achieve? For some, it is relaxation and serenity, a place to read a book under the shade of a tree. For others, it is entertainment, an outdoor kitchen, a fire pit, a seating area where family and friends gather. And for many modern homeowners, gardens are increasingly becoming spaces of productivity as well. Small vegetable plots, herb corners, or vertical farms that serve as both decoration and nourishment. Architecture and landscaping are deeply connected. The garden should not be seen as separate from the home, but as an extension of it. The walls of your house are not boundaries. They are transitions, frames through which you view the living canvas outside. When you walk from your living room to the patio, from the patio to the lawn, and from the lawn into a shaded path, you are moving through a continuum of designed experiences. This integration is where creativity begins. Let us dive into the core elements of garden design. These elements are universal, yet endlessly adaptable to individual taste and culture. The first element is space planning. Think of the garden as a floor plan without a ceiling. Just as an architect divides a home into living rooms, kitchens, and bedrooms, so too does a landscape designer divide the garden into zones: social zones, private zones, utility zones. A well-designed garden feels natural, but behind that ease is structure. Walkways lead you logically from one point to another, open lawns give breathing room, and clusters of plants create intimacy. This is not accidental, it is choreography. The second element is form and geometry. Gardens are not just random clusters of plants. The arrangement can follow formal symmetry, like classical European estates with mirrored pathways and fountains, or it can embrace organic, free-flowing curves inspired by Japanese or tropical styles. Geometry gives coherence. Even in a small garden, repeating circular forms in flower beds or aligning rectangular patios with the shape of the house creates harmony. The third element is materials and textures. Wood, stone, metal, glass each carries both a functional and emotional quality. Rough granite feels timeless and strong. Smooth concrete feels modern and minimal. Warm cedar planks invite touch. Shiny steel reflects light dramatically. When combined with plants, textures create contrast. Imagine the softness of ornamental grass next to the sharp edges of slate tiles, or the bold green of ferns against the clean whiteness of painted walls. These sensory experiences define mood. The fourth element is plant selection. Plants are the living heart of any landscape. Choosing them is both art and science. You must consider climate, soil, water availability, and maintenance. But beyond that, plants are characters in a story. A row of tall bamboo can evoke mystery and movement. A blooming cherry tree symbolizes renewal. Succulents suggest resilience and modernity. Native plants, in particular, are rising in popularity because they support local ecosystems and require less upkeep, aligning with sustainable trends. The fifth element is light. Daylight changes everything. A garden is not static, it transforms from dawn to dusk. Morning light may highlight dewdrops on leaves, while evening light may cast dramatic shadows across stone walls. Designers today also embrace artificial lighting. Subtle LED strips along pathways, uplights under trees, lanterns around seating areas, extending the usability of gardens into the night and creating a magical atmosphere. With these elements in mind, let us zoom out to broader styles and philosophies of garden design. Because just like architecture has Gothic, modern, and postmodern, gardens too carry their own languages. One classic style is the formal European garden, often associated with the Renaissance and Baroque eras. These gardens emphasize symmetry, order, and grandeur. Hedges are clipped into geometric shapes, fountains are centered, pathways align with vistas. They are gardens that declare control over nature. In contrast, the Japanese garden takes an almost opposite approach. It celebrates natural irregularity, minimalism, and symbolism. Rocks may represent mountains, raked gravel suggests flowing water, and moss embodies patience and time. Japanese gardens are not about control, but about harmony, inviting contemplation and mindfulness. The tropical garden, by comparison, explodes with life. Large leaves, vibrant flowers, and dense layering of plants create a sense of abundance. It feels wild, lush, and immersive, often paired with water features like ponds or waterfalls to heighten the sensory experience. Then there is the modern minimalist garden, rising strongly in recent decades. Inspired by clean architectural lines, this style often uses few plant varieties, simple geometric forms, and lots of open space. Hardscape, meaning stone, wood, and concrete, often dominates, while plants are chosen for sculptural quality rather than lushness. This resonates with the urban lifestyle of clarity and simplicity. And let us not forget the cottage garden, beloved for its charm and intimacy. Overflowing beds of flowers, winding pathways, rustic fences, it is less about control and more about emotional warmth. Cottage gardens feel personal, handmade, and deeply human. The exciting part is that in today's world, styles are no longer rigid. Designers blend influences. A modern house might feature a minimalist front yard, but a tropical backyard oasis. Or a classical home might reinterpret Japanese principles with modern materials. Hybridization is the essence of contemporary creativity. Now, let us turn to the trends shaping today's gardens. First and foremost is sustainability. In a time of climate awareness, gardens are no longer judged only by beauty, but also by ecological responsibility. Rainwater harvesting systems, drought-tolerant plants, and permeable paving that allows water to seep into the soil are becoming essential. Gardeners are also embracing biodiversity, designing spaces that attract bees, butterflies, and birds, turning backyards into microhabitats that support the planet. Technology is also transforming landscapes. Smart irrigation systems now adjust watering based on weather forecasts. Lighting can be controlled through mobile apps. Robotic lawnmowers quietly maintain grass while homeowners relax. Even augmented reality apps are available, letting you preview how a tree will look in your yard before planting it. These innovations bridge tradition with the digital age. Another trend is the fusion of indoors and outdoors. Glass walls, sliding doors, pergolas, and shaded patios blur the line between house and garden. Living rooms extend into courtyards, kitchens spill into terraces, and even bathrooms open onto small private gardens. This connection to nature enhances mental health, bringing light, air, and greenery deeper into daily life. Wellness is a major driver too. Gardens are now designed with mental and physical health in mind. Meditation nooks, yoga decks, outdoor fitness areas, and even therapeutic gardens for hospitals and communities are increasingly common. The garden becomes not just decoration, but medicine for the soul. Consider the realities of modern living, one of the greatest challenges is limited space. Urbanization has condensed our environments, leaving us with smaller homes and smaller yards. Yet within these limitations lies immense creativity. Small gardens, when designed thoughtfully, can feel expansive, inviting, and deeply functional. It is not about the size of the space, but about the imagination applied to it. The first principle in working with small spaces is verticality. Instead of spreading outward, we design upward. Vertical gardens, trellises, green walls, and hanging planters turn bare walls and fences into living canvases. A narrow balcony can suddenly become lush with cascading vines, potted herbs on racks, and flowering plants reaching skyward. This approach not only saves ground space, but also creates dynamic layers of greenery that change the perception of scale. The second principle is multifunctionality. In compact areas, every element should serve more than one purpose. A bench can also act as storage for gardening tools. A raised planter can double as a seating edge. A pergola can provide shade while also supporting climbing plants and housing soft lighting. Designing with multifunctionality ensures efficiency while avoiding clutter. Another powerful tool in small garden design is perspective and illusion. By carefully choosing plant sizes and placing larger elements toward the back and smaller ones toward the front, you create depth. Mirrors or reflective surfaces can visually extend boundaries. Narrow pathways that curve out of sight create mystery, making a space feel larger than it truly is. Even the choice of colors matters. Lighter hues can expand a space visually, while darker tones add intimacy. For homes with no outdoor yard at all, balconies, rooftops, and even windowsills can become gardens. Rooftop gardens, in particular, are a growing trend in cities worldwide. They not only offer personal sanctuary, but also help regulate building temperature, absorb rainwater, and reduce urban heat. A rooftop terrace with planters, seating, and lighting becomes a hidden oasis above the noise of the streets. Integration between home interiors and outdoor gardens is another key to maximizing impact. Glass doors that open wide to a patio erase the barrier between inside and outside. Flooring materials that continue from living room to terrace unify the experience. Even small courtyards, when viewed from multiple rooms through windows, become visual anchors that expand the feel of the house. In this way, gardens are not just something to step into, but something to live with constantly. Beyond physical tricks, small gardens thrive on thematic focus. Instead of trying to include everything, choose one strong theme. It may be a minimalist Zen-inspired courtyard with gravel, bamboo, and a water basin. It may be a Mediterranean patio with terracotta pots, lavender, and citrus trees. Or it may be a rustic vegetable patch lined with herbs and edible flowers. A focused theme gives identity, making a small space feel intentional and powerful. Lighting plays a transformative role as well. Subtle string lights, lanterns, or recessed floor lighting can redefine a space at night. In fact, small gardens often look even more magical after dark, because light exaggerates scale and creates intimacy. Imagine a compact patio with just 3 key plants, softly lit from below. The shadows dance, the textures glow, and the space feels larger than during the day. Water features, though often associated with larger estates, can also enrich small gardens. A simple wall-mounted fountain, a reflective water bowl, or a tiny recirculating pond with floating plants adds sound, movement, and life. The sound of trickling water masks city noise and brings serenity to the tightest corners. Furniture selection is equally critical. Instead of bulky sets, choose foldable, modular, or built-in pieces. A corner bench hugs the perimeter and frees up central space. A compact bistro table can serve morning coffee, yet fold away when not in use. Materials should complement the surrounding design. Sleek metal for modern styles, warm wood for rustic charm, or wicker for a relaxed atmosphere. The rise of container gardening also offers endless possibilities. Containers allow flexibility. You can move plants with the seasons, adjust compositions, or even bring certain specimens indoors during colder months. Containers come in countless shapes and sizes, from ceramic pots to recycled crates, and they make experimenting with design accessible even to beginners. At the intersection of creativity and practicality, urban gardens are increasingly linked to food production. The farm-to-table concept has reached households, with homeowners growing herbs, vegetables, and fruit even in tight quarters. Raised beds, vertical planters, hydroponic systems, and compact fruit trees bring productivity to ornamental spaces. The result is not just beauty, but nourishment, both physical and emotional. In recent years, edible landscaping has emerged as a strong trend. Instead of separating flowers and vegetables, designers now blend them together. Kale and lettuce can line a pathway alongside ornamental grasses. Bright peppers and eggplants can coexist with marigolds and petunias. The mixture creates vibrant, colorful scenes that also provide food. It is a philosophy that unites aesthetics with sustainability. For those seeking tranquility, small gardens also make ideal wellness sanctuaries. A meditation corner with a single chair surrounded by plants, a small deck for yoga, or a hammock nestled under a tree, all of these transform compact yards into personal retreats. With stress levels rising in modern society, the garden becomes more than decoration. It becomes therapy. Technology enhances this experience as well. Smart irrigation systems prevent overwatering, especially in container gardens. Compact solar lights reduce wiring complexity. Sensors can monitor soil moisture and send alerts to your phone. Even in small spaces, technology ensures plants thrive with minimal effort. The concept of seasonal adaptability also makes small gardens more dynamic. Portable planters, modular furniture, and adjustable shading allow spaces to change character throughout the year. A cozy fire pit area in winter can transform into an open dining patio in summer. Flexibility keeps the space exciting, ensuring it evolves with the household's needs. Beyond the physical and practical, let us consider the emotional narrative of small gardens. They embody intimacy. When you step into a compact courtyard or a balcony garden, you feel enveloped, embraced by greenery. Every detail is close, every texture tangible, every fragrance immediate. This intimacy creates a unique relationship between homeowner and space, one of care, attention, and personal connection. At the same time, small gardens connect to broader urban ecosystems. They are stepping stones for pollinators, contributors to air purification, and pockets of cooling in heat-stricken cities. When multiplied across neighborhoods, small gardens collectively reshape urban environments. They are proof that scale does not limit impact. As trends move forward, we see the merging of small space design with bold artistic statements. Murals on walls combine with vertical gardens. Sculptural planters serve as both art and utility. Minimalist spaces use a single tree as a dramatic focal point, while lush courtyards transform into miniature jungles. Each design, though small in footprint, tells a complete story. The heart of small space garden design lies in creativity, adaptability, and vision. It asks us to think beyond boundaries, to use every surface as potential, and to see limitations as opportunities. In doing so, it brings architecture and nature together in ways that feel deeply personal and profoundly modern. As we look toward the future of garden and landscape design, it is important to recognize how architecture, lifestyle, and environmental awareness continue to shape new directions. Gardens are no longer passive backdrops. They are evolving into active participants in the daily lives of homeowners, communities, and cities. The future points toward spaces that are not just aesthetically pleasing, but also intelligent, regenerative, and emotionally enriching. One of the strongest movements is sustainability as a default, not an option. Future gardens will be built with eco-consciousness at their core. This includes not only native and drought-tolerant planting, but also soil restoration, composting systems, and closed-loop water cycles. Imagine homes where rainwater is collected from rooftops, filtered naturally through gravel beds, and reused to irrigate edible landscapes. Green roofs and living walls will become standard features, insulating buildings, reducing energy use, and enhancing biodiversity in urban areas. The garden of the future is not ornamental alone, it is a living infrastructure. Another defining feature will be climate resilience. With unpredictable weather patterns and rising temperatures, gardens will adapt by using hardy plant palettes and innovative shading structures. Designers will integrate movable canopies, retractable pergolas, and adaptive irrigation systems that respond in real time to rainfall and sunlight. Artificial intelligence will monitor soil health, plant growth, and microclimate conditions, providing feedback to homeowners and ensuring optimal care with minimal waste. In essence, gardens will become responsive environments, almost like living machines tuned to balance human comfort and ecological stability. Wellness-centered design will also take center stage. As the awareness of mental health deepens, gardens will be curated for sensory immersion. Spaces will be designed not just to look beautiful, but to feel and sound therapeutic. Aromatic plants like lavender, mint, and jasmine will be intentionally placed to release calming fragrances. Water features will be calibrated to produce gentle, soothing sounds. Tactile surfaces, such as smooth stone pathways or wooden decks, will encourage barefoot walking and grounding practices. Light, both natural and artificial, will be used to regulate circadian rhythms, creating gardens that align with human biological needs. Social functionality will expand too. Gardens of the future are not only private sanctuaries but also community hubs. Shared rooftop gardens in residential complexes, neighborhood pocket parks, and collaborative urban farms will redefine what it means to own green space. Families will gather for weekend meals in communal courtyards. Neighbors will share harvests from vertical farms. And schools will integrate gardens into education, teaching children about ecology, nutrition, and sustainability firsthand. These gardens will strengthen social bonds while improving collective well-being. On the artistic side, expect bolder integration of design and sculpture. Technology will allow for creative expressions that once seemed impossible. Kinetic installations powered by wind, interactive light structures that shift with movement, and even bioart using genetically engineered plants that glow or change color will merge art with horticulture. Gardens will become galleries without walls, spaces where nature and human creativity coexist in continuous dialogue. Cultural influences will continue to cross-pollinate, creating hybrid garden languages. A minimalist Japanese courtyard may fuse with Mediterranean herbs and desert succulents. A tropical-inspired roof terrace may adopt Scandinavian lighting design. As global exchange deepens, styles will no longer be bound by geography but by personal identity and collective storytelling. Each garden becomes a reflection of the world's interconnectedness, carrying within it layers of tradition, innovation, and individuality. Technology will also empower personalization at a scale never seen before. Homeowners will be able to design and preview their gardens using augmented reality, customizing plant palettes, furniture arrangements, and lighting schemes with a swipe on their devices. Drones may assist in planting, trimming, and monitoring, while robotic caretakers manage routine maintenance tasks. Instead of gardens being labor-intensive, they will be partnerships between human vision and machine assistance, leaving more room for creativity and enjoyment. The role of food production will expand further into mainstream design. Future homes may incorporate hydroponic walls growing fresh greens, aquaponic systems where fish and plants support each other, and compact orchards producing fruit year-round. The blending of ornamental and edible landscapes will become seamless, where every plant has aesthetic and functional value. This movement not only supports healthier lifestyles, but also contributes to food security and self-sufficiency in a world facing growing population demands. Resilient urban design will also redefine large-scale landscapes. Cities may transform highways into linear parks, abandoned lots into pollinator corridors, and rooftops into vertical forests. These landscapes will not be isolated. They will be interconnected systems, forming ecological networks that cool cities, clean air, and restore natural habitats. Private gardens will contribute to these systems as nodes, making every household an active participant in ecological restoration. At the heart of these transformations is the shift in how people perceive gardens. No longer seen as luxury or afterthought, they are becoming essential. Essential for mental balance, essential for climate resilience, essential for food systems, and essential for cultural identity. This revaluation places landscape design at the forefront of modern architecture, equal in importance to structural design itself. Let us also imagine the future emotional experience. Walking into tomorrow's garden will be more than visual delight. It will be an immersive journey. A pathway may be designed to subtly shift mood, beginning with bright, open plantings that energize, then moving into shaded, fragrant groves that calm, and finally opening onto communal areas that invite connection. Every corner will tell a story, every element chosen not randomly but purposefully to evoke a response. Gardens will be choreographed experiences, tailored to human emotion as much as to environmental logic. Even small gestures will carry significance. A single tree, chosen for its seasonal bloom, may become a family ritual, its blossoms marking the arrival of spring each year. A reflective pool may serve as a personal sanctuary, a mirror for meditation. A wall of herbs by the kitchen may anchor daily life in cycles of growth and harvest. The future of gardens is not about scale or extravagance. It is about meaning, resonance, and integration into the rhythm of living. Ultimately, the garden of tomorrow represents a union between architecture and nature, between technology and tradition, between the private and the communal, between the present and the future. It is a vision of harmony, where homes are not isolated boxes but living ecosystems, where beauty and function merge seamlessly, and where every blade of grass, every stone, every drop of water contributes to a larger story of human connection to the earth. The trends ahead are not fleeting fashions, but deeper shifts in philosophy. They remind us that gardens are reflections of who we are and what we value. By designing them with creativity, care, and vision, we are not only shaping spaces around us, but also shaping our future itself.